Black don't crack. I was just at a show with Jacquees in St. Louis, and that's the first thing he said. He said, "Damn, nigga, you look the same as goddamn when we was in school."
Wow, bro.
I was like, "The fuck?" And I didn't think about it like, damn.
Bro, like, yeah, I do research, bro. Like, you look exactly the same.
Yeah,
August 8th, 2025. A 33-year-old rapper lies dead in a Snellville, Georgia home. 6 bullets in his body. But here's what makes this case absolutely haunting. The man who pulled the trigger claims he had no choice. The dead man's family says their son never even fired his gun. And the shooter? He's the son of reality TV stars. And the victim was dating his half-sister. This is a story of T-Hood. And trust me, nothing about this case is simple. But before we dive deep into this tragedy, if you're new to Mystoracrimes, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon because cases like this, they need to be told, they need to be heard. And your support helps us bring these stories to light. Now, let me take you back to who Tevin Hood really was. T-Hood wasn't just another name in Atlanta's rap scene. He was a voice. Songs like Ready to Go, Percolator, Big Booty, these tracks had people moving. He was part of that southern hip-hop culture that's raw, that's real. And at 33, he was still grinding, still making music, still chasing that dream. But T-Hood's personal life, that's where things get complicated. He was dating a woman named Kelsie Frost. Now, if that last name sounds familiar, it should. Kelsie is the daughter of Kirk Frost, and Kirk Frost is one half of that love and hip-hop Atlanta power couple with his wife Rasheeda. You know the show, the drama, the cameras, the fame. But here's the thing. Kirk had children outside his marriage, and Kelsie is one of them. So when T-Hood started dating Kelsie, he wasn't just dating a woman. He was stepping into a family that lived their lives in the spotlight, a family that had cameras following their every move, a family with secrets, tensions, and a whole lot of history. And Kelsie had a half-brother. His name is Kai Frost, 24 years old, Kirk and Rasheeda's son, the golden child of this reality TV family. Now, I want you to imagine the dynamic here. T-Hood, a rapper trying to make it, dating Kelsie. Kai, the younger brother, protective, watching everything. 2 men orbiting the same woman, connected by blood and circumstance. Can you feel the tension already? Because what happened next, it didn't come out of nowhere. According to police reports, there was a history. Surveillance footage that would later surface allegedly showed T-Hood in a prior incident. And this footage, it wasn't good. It reportedly showed him physically attacking Kelsie. Now, we don't know the full context of that video. We don't know what led to that moment, but that footage existed. And if Kai saw it, if he knew about it, imagine what's going through his mind. Your half-sister, someone you care about, and there's video evidence of her being hurt. So let's talk about that night. August 8th, 2025. Lee Road in Snellville, Georgia. What the police say happened is this. There was a domestic disturbance at the residence. A female victim, and we can assume this was Kelsie, sustained physical injuries. An altercation had already taken place before Kai even arrived at the scene. Think about that for a second. Something had already gone wrong. Voices were probably raised, emotions were running high, and someone had already gotten hurt. Then Kai shows up. Now, here's where the stories start to matter, because depending on who you ask, Kai either walked into a situation where he had to protect his sister, or he walked into a situation that he escalated. The police report states that T-Hood was the primary aggressor that night. They say he started a fight with Kentucky. They say T-Hood pulled out a firearm. But here's the thing that keeps me up at night. The autopsy report tells a different story, or at least raises different questions. Tevin Hood was shot 6 times. Let me repeat that. 6 times. The medical examiner's report breaks it down. Injuries to both back legs, his upper back, his abdomen, his lower back, and 1 front leg. 6 bullets entered his body. The medical examiner ruled his death a homicide, not an accident, not a justified killing. A homicide. And here's the detail that T-Hood's family keeps bringing up, the detail that their attorney, Michael Wilensky, made sure everyone heard. No shots were fired from Tevin Hood's gun. Think about that. The police say T-Hood pulled out a firearm, that he was the aggressor, that he started the confrontation. But when investigators examined his weapon, It hadn't been fired. Not once. So if T-Hood pulled a gun, why didn't he shoot? Was he trying to scare Kai? Was he trying to defend himself? Or, and this is what his family believes, did he never actually pose a threat with that weapon at all? 6 shots. That's not 1 shot in the heat of the moment. That's not 2 shots to stop a threat. 6 bullets found their mark in T-Hood's body. His back legs, his upper back, his abdomen, his lower back. When you shoot someone that many times, especially when some of those shots are hitting the back, it raises questions. Was T-Hood running away? Was he turned around? Was he on the ground? Because if someone is actively attacking you with a gun, you'd expect wounds to the front, right? Chest shots, shots that come from facing your attacker. But back shots? That paints a different picture. Now, Kai Frost, he's not talking publicly. His parents, Kirk and Rasheeda, they stayed relatively quiet too. But the police, they completed their investigation, and here's what they concluded. Kai Frost acted in self-defense. The Gwinnett County Police Department believes he should not face charges. They say the evidence, including that surveillance footage of the prior incident, supports Kai's version of events. They say T-Hood was the aggressor, that he initiated the violence, and that Kai had no choice but to defend himself. But is that the whole truth? Because T-Hood's family, they're not accepting this. They hired attorney Michael Wilensky, and they're demanding answers. They're asking how their son, their brother, their loved one ends up with 6 bullets in him, and the police call it self-defense. They're pointing to that unfired gun and asking why, if Tevin was such a threat, he never pulled the trigger himself. They're looking at those autopsy results and questioning how someone gets shot in the back while being the primary aggressor. And here's where this case takes an even darker turn, because this isn't just about the police investigation anymore. The Gwinnett County Police Department finished their report and sent it to the district attorney's office. And as of right now, today, November 2nd, 2025, nearly 3 months after T-Hood's death, the district attorney still hasn't made a decision. No charges have been filed against Kai Frost. No announcement has been made about when that decision will come. The case is just sitting there, in limbo, while T-Hood's family waits for justice and Kai Frost's life hangs in the balance.
Police are still investigating, but say self-defense could be behind the shooting death of 33-year-old rapper Tevin Hood, also known as T-Hood, and there are a lot of moving pieces being shared into this investigation. Gwinnett County Police have named the 24-year-old son of reality stars Kirk and Rasheeda Frost, Kai Frost, as a suspect in the rapper's death.
So let me ask you something. What really happened in that house on Lee Road? Was Kai Frost a brother protecting his sister from an abusive boyfriend, forced to make an impossible choice in a split second? Or was this something else? Was this a young man who let his emotions, his anger, his protective instincts go too far? Because here's what we know for certain. A man is dead. A family is grieving. And another family is living under the shadow of this shooting. Think about the psychology of self-defense for a moment. When someone truly fears for their life, when they're in genuine danger, the human response is survival. You do what you have to do to stop the threat. But 6 shots? Studies on police shootings and civilian self-defense cases show that most offensive shootings involve 2 to 3 rounds. 6 suggests something more. It suggests fear, yes, but maybe also rage. Maybe panic. Maybe a moment where the line between defense and offense got blurred. And what about T-Hood? If he really did hurt Kelsie in that prior incident, does that change how we view this case? Does someone's past behavior justify what happens to them later? Because that's the uncomfortable question here. Even if T-Hood was abusive, even if he had hurt Kelsie before, does that mean he deserved to die? Does that mean 6 bullets were justified? Or do we, as a society, believe in due process, in the legal system handling domestic violence cases, not vigilante justice? Here's another angle that bothers me. The reality TV element. Kirk Frost and Rasheeda built their lives on camera. Their drama, their relationships, their family issues, all of it played out for entertainment. So when something this serious happens, when their son is involved in a fatal shooting, how much does that fame, that public image, influence a narrative? Are the police more inclined to believe Kai's version because of who his parents are? Is the media treating this differently because there's celebrity connection? These are questions we have to ask. And what about Kelsie? She's at the center of this tragedy, but we've barely heard from her. She lost her boyfriend. Her half-brother shot him. Can you imagine living with that? The guilt, the confusion, the grief? Whether T-Hood was abusive or not, whether Kai was justified or not, Kelsie is traumatized. She's lost someone she cared about, and her family is fractured. That's real pain, regardless of the legal outcome. So here's what I want you to think about. When does protection become murder? When does self-defense cross the line into excessive force? If you walk into a situation and someone has a gun but hasn't fired it, and you shoot them 6 times, are you defending yourself or are you executing them? And if the person you're protecting was being abused, does that give you the moral right to take another person's life? These aren't easy questions. There's no clear answer. But that's why cases like T-Hood's matter. Because they force us to confront the messy, complicated reality of violence, family, loyalty, and justice. They make us question our assumptions about who's the victim and who's the villain. And they remind us that behind every headline, behind every police report, there are real people suffering real consequences. If this case got you thinking, if it made you question what really happened that night in Snellville, then I need you to do something for me. Subscribe to Mystoracrimes if you haven't already. Hit that like button to help this story reach more people. Click the bell icon so you never miss when we cover cases that need attention. Because T-Hood's family is still waiting for answers. The district attorney still hasn't decided if Kai Frost will face charges. And this story isn't over. Justice delayed is justice denied, and right now, everyone involved is stuck in this painful limbo. So stay with us. Keep watching. Keep questioning. Because that's how the truth eventually comes out.